The Vermont Institute of Natural Science, or VINS, offers all visitors a remarkably fresh look at many things. For example, the wildlife living in and around the QUECHEE River. And just up the hill at the Nature Center, VINS houses ambassadors. Yes, you heard me right, ambassadors. So when I was granted a face-to-face interview with one of VIN's longest-serving diplomats, I knew I was in for a surprise. To prepare for the interview, I turned to man's most trusted source of information. How exciting that I would soon be in the company of these illustrious women and men, each charged with the mission of representing their nation's way of life in a foreign land. The ambassadors dressed so well, and their embassies. I wondered what feats of architecture VINS had constructed as residencies for these noble women and men. To be perfectly honest, it all reminded me of that time I paid attention in history class. Benjamin Franklin was the United States of America's very first ambassador. He signed the Declaration of Independence and was sent off to Paris on a mission to gain French support for American independence from Great Britain. They say that everyone loved him and his fur hat. He went before King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette and got the United States exactly what was needed. He received a hero's welcome back home, and there are statues of him all over the place. So with that in mind, I made my way from the QUECHEE River up the hill to VIN's Nature Center to meet Her Excellency, the Ambassador. A live raptor presentation was taking place when I arrived, so I didn't go out of my way to announce my arrival. In any case, I already knew that Her Excellency was waiting for me in her chambers at the modestly named Reptile Room. It wasn't hard to find, so I took a few deep breaths and opened the door. My first surprise was that I couldn't find Her Excellency. I could only find a bunch of rocks in a water tank, but I looked closer. A rainbow appeared on one of these rocks, and I started to put two and two together. It dawned on me that the ambassador who had granted me an audience represented a nation founded before humans set foot on Earth. Madam Ambassador was none other than Turt the wood turtle. Ambassador Turt represents the endangered wood turtle nation and began her mission at VINS in 1985 after she was run over by a car while crossing the road. Today, like Benjamin Franklin did in France, the young 46-year-old brings the plight of the wood turtle nation to VIN's 40,000 annual visitors. And Madam Ambassador would agree with Franklin. "Don't tread on me" is a direct appeal to mankind on behalf of the entire reptile nation. So whereas Benjamin Franklin began his 9-year embassy to France in 1776 and finished his mission in 1785, exactly 200 years later, Her Excellency Turt the wood turtle was hit by a car and began her embassy to mankind, a mission which has lasted over 30 years. With elegance and grace, Madam Ambassador is showing us, one step at a time, that the turtle always outruns the hare. Simeon Morrow, reporting from the Vermont Institute of Natural Science.